Cozy Glow, the young Pegasus filly that we all know and love. Well, that's what she wants anyway. She was introduced as a student in the School of Friendship and seemed cute and innocent at first. But she quickly turned out to be a smart and manipulative evil mastermind with the goal to rid Equestria of all its magic and become friends with every pony because she believes that friendship is power. But it's impressive that this normal, little and cute Pegasus filly came closer to reaching her goal than most of the other villains ever did. They all came close to conquering a part of Equestria, but Cozy's plan to destroy all the magic would have come through if it weren't for the young Six. She was able to do that because of her cute appearance and cunning personality. She slowly but surely gained the trust of her fellow students, the CMC and her teachers. None of the main Six suspected anything bad to come from this pink little Pegasus filly. But why did she do it? After hearing what the main Six were able to do only through their friendship and maybe the elements of harmony, she set the quest for herself to gain as much friendship as possible, but not in the same way as the main Six did, because she believes that she can make more friends through her means than the ones that are taught at the School of Friendship. And it works for a while. Every creature begins to trust her, even siding with her over the young Six in Schoolways 1 and 2. Even at her first appearance in the episode Marks for Effort, she already starts to manipulate the CMC with her little filly needs help with her friendship assignments act, which works really well. Even the viewer could have a hard time seeing through her facade. But in the same episode there's one action of hers that shows her true manipulative self even more. She deliberately fails the friendship test to try and convince Twilight that the CMC need friendship lessons and accept them into the school, which we all know now was just to gain their trust. But back then, it seemed like a really nice gesture. Even in Season 9, her abilities are of good use to the Legion of Doom. All three of them use smart ways to spread distrust between the ponies and trick them to, for example, cause a distraction at the last Summer Sun celebration to get access to the Royal Library, to steal the instructions on how to use Grogar's bell. Another important part of her personality is her desire for power and control, which we can see in the episode Schoolways Part 1, where she seizes control of the school after manipulating the main Six to go off to Tartarus to ask Tyrek about the disappearing magic, which is interrupted by Chancellor Naysay, but the trust she built up with the students let her set up an uprising, which ends with her in the headmare position once again. The same can be seen in the episode Frenemies, where she tries to take control of the Legion of Doom, or at least the triad of Tyrek, Chrysalis and herself. Her approach of using friendship as a means to connect all three of them is really dangerous for all of Equestria. If it weren't for Cozy Glow's wrong perception of friendship and the stubbornness of Tyrek and Chrysalis, it would have been very hard for our main cast to defeat them. But the point here is that she wanted to be the pony in control once again. Another character trait that we see very often is her anger. She has a really short fuse, which can be seen in most of the episodes she appears in, but the best example is probably the episode Frenemies, where she talks with the Guardian of Mount Everhof, Rusty Bucket, who doesn't want to help her up the mountain, which, to be fair, is his job, but all of her cunning and trickery doesn't help with convincing him to help her, and she gets angry while nearly causing an avalanche with her loud screaming. This is just the most apparent instance of her anger, but it's really common for her to have these freakouts, at least in Season 9, where she doesn't try to hide this side of hers as much anymore. Now let's take a look at the way she executed her plan in Season 8. Somehow, she made contact with Tyrek and Tartarus, and learned ways to drain all the magic. Tyrek describes his help as just a few pointers in the right direction, With her cunning ability, she convinces every creature to trust her. She even gets close enough to Twilight to make her trust with organizing the library, which is impressive considering her maniac-like detailed work when it comes to these things. She even became her official friendship assistant, which can be seen in the episode Schoolways. While gaining trust, she also spread disharmony between the students and the young Six, to use it later and control the students and send them in against the young Six. Her way of making friends did work, but at the expense of every creature else. She used the knowledge that magical artifacts would be the last things to lose their magic to devise a plan that would make her the headmaster of the School of Friendship permanently, which in her mind would give her the most friends and therefore the most power, since she still believes that that is the case, even declaring herself Empress of Friendship. She was prepared very well, even getting rid of the elements of harmony by trapping them in Tartarus. This would have worked if Tyrek hadn't helped them escape. Her plan only failed because of the young Six getting freed by the Tree of Harmony, even though her plan was a bit naive. It was brilliantly planned and executed, and got her closer to her goal than any other G4 villain before. In my opinion, Cozy Glow is a really good character. Even though she is just a filly, she has the charisma and the intelligence to make her plan work. But still, her naive filly part still comes through, which makes it believable enough. Even though she seems a bit too smart sometimes, as well as a bit like a psychopath. I mean, she even says herself that she likes a good backstabbing. She is a good working villain with a great acting talent, which can be seen in almost every episode in which she pulls out the cute and adorable Cozy Glow, which she still says is the way she really is, but one thing is missing: an interesting and compelling backstory. We don't know anything about her life before she attended the School of Friendship. As far as we know, she could have a very traumatizing past, which could make her character more believable and could explain at least part of her mindset and her desire for control. We never saw her parents, even after she was imprisoned in Tartarus, so it's probable that it has something to do with them, but who knows? Now you have heard what I think of Cozy Glow, but I only touched the topic of the reasons why she could be the way she is. That on its own could deserve a whole other video. But what do you think? Is Cozy Glow a good villain? Do you think there could be some deeper psychological explanation that could explain her beliefs? Let me know, and until next time, fellow bronies, brony fellas, and bye.